Hey, what's up, everyone? I'm back in Egypt for a few days, and I came to check on the call center, right? DialPros, you heard me talking about it for the last few months, and I want to show you what the inside of this facility looks like. Now, keep in mind, there are only about 30 or 40 agents that actually work here. Most of the agents actually work remote back home. So let me kind of just walk you through the office and just show you. So you can look through the stripes here. This is our quality assurance team. So here's how it actually works. So when you hire an agent, right? It could be a cold caller, it could be a texter, whatever it is. When you hire an agent, you get that agent. That agent works for you. They don't work for anybody else. They work particularly for you and your business. Now, what comes with that is quality assurance. So as that person is starting to make phone calls or text messages or whatever it is you hired them for, that lead then moves to quality assurance to make sure that lead is actually qualified for what you've actually wanted, like the parameters that you set, your buy box. This is another office here. I can smell pizza, so I can smell it's like lunchtime here. It is dark here. Now keep in mind, the team works on your schedule. So the 9 to 5 or the 9 to 6, they work on your schedule. So if you're on the East Coast, they're working your 9 to 5. If you're on the West Coast, they're working your 9 to 5. So they're working nighttime here, but they're working for you, so they're gonna work on the time that's benefit for you and your business. I smell it. I knew I was right. Pizza is right there. Keep walking. And you'll see people walking around because this is a live functional office. And what you have here is you got the training team, you have the quality assurance team, you have the HR team, and just some other staff. And they're in and out right now. It's the break. Come check it out. This is the kitchen for the team. Got to have that coffee to stay up and be focused. Let me show you the training facility real quick. All right, so here is the training room. So it's hard to think about, but there's over 3,000 agents that work here at DialPros in all different sectors, right? You have real estate, you have solar, you have insurance, you name it. We have agents that work in those departments for clients all across the world, not just America, but all across the entire world. And so we're aggressively always hiring because we need so many more people. But check this out. One of the benefits of having a call center in Cairo, obviously you can go anywhere in the world and find cheap call center, but the quality in having Cairo in Egypt is that people speak perfect English. Also, there's so many educated, college educated people that the rate we pay them is probably better than their job, and they get to work from home and they get to do, and they love what they do. So you're working with university trained people that speak great English and that are personally trained in this room. So most people start off, yeah, they all work at home. Most people work at home. They can come into the office if they want to. But not only that, they're trained in this room before they're actually hired. So if they're gonna be working in real estate for the case, they're gonna be working with wholesalers or real estate professionals or agents or realtors, they get trained in this room. Now, if you're getting wholesaling, cold callers, they're gonna be using the cold calling script that we put together, that me and my team put together so that they can qualify your lead and get you the best of the best. So this is one of the training rooms here, and we're always training, we're always hiring. So now I'm gonna speak a little softer because this is the operations room. This is where people are doing their thing. They're monitoring a lot of the other agents as far as what they're doing to make sure that everything's up and running. So when you hire an agent, you also get a dialer. The dialer, you have to pay for it separately, but you get that dialer and the agent uses that dialer. Now the good thing about the dialer that we use is that you can do what they call a warm transfer, meaning that if the agent gets somebody on the phone that raises their hand and says they're interested in getting a price for a property, it will go to quality assurance, or you can transfer it directly to you. Now, you know in our business, especially if you're in wholesaling, once you get a lead on the phone that is actually interested in hearing an offer, you better get it while it's hot. All right, so now follow me. Inside here, these are the folks that, remember I told you, it's only about 30 or 45 people that actually work here in the office. This is the operations team. So this is like your account managers, people that are maintaining to make sure that your account is in good standings, that you're happy with what you have, and if there's any problems, these are the people that you're gonna be talking about. So if you have a problem with your agent, right, this is the people that you're gonna speak to because they are the ones that are gonna make sure that you get the quality, the best of the best. And keep in mind, all the calls that your agent has are recorded, meaning that you can request or just listen to any call you want to make sure they're saying and following what you want, particularly in your market. So this is the people that are gonna be making sure that your accounts are on the uppity up. You can see it. Hey, status, what's going on, man? You doing all right?
You're fine. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. So, what's pretty cool, I know everybody's on lunch, just want to, don't want to take too much of your time.
Of course.
But I want to kind of bridge the gap between, like when American real estate investors hire a cold caller from overseas, they don't really see the person as like a human, right?
Exactly. Yes.
You're
just a person on the phone.
You're a real human, right? You're a real human.
True.
So cool. So give me some background. Like, where did you go to school at?
Okay.
You went to college?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, cool.
Okay. I went to the ACU, it's Egyptian Chinese University.
Okay.
I graduated from business and international trade.
Okay.
I majored marketing.
Wow.
Yeah. It's,
so you're highly educated.
True.
You're working in the field of marketing.
True.
So tell me what it's like working with American team and and calling a lot of American clients. How do you enjoy that? How is it?
And actually, it's super nice because it's kind of not usual in Egypt for someone to work overseas or with Americans. It's not the common thing, especially with the working hours too. But it's actually super fun because it's kind of you get to meet lots of different people, lots of different backgrounds. Every day you learn lots of things actually from different culture. By the way,
because when you're calling people in the South. Right,
exactly.
We speak with a little twang.
The accents, like Texan accents, like when we pop from like North Carolina or like
that's
sometimes.
Where I'm from. North Carolina, you get a little twang.
Exactly.
And then maybe not many people in New York, but they speak a little bit.
Yeah, true. It's a bit different.
Yeah.
Like, but like because when we're dialing, like we know which state we're calling from and which city and everything. So like sometimes you can get the difference. You're like, okay, I'm dialing for Texas today. Like, okay, I gotta be ready for this.
So you gotta adjust to the accents of wherever you're talking.
Exactly. So at least we know like what to expect and the slangs and everything that we're gonna hear over the phone.
So how long have you been cold calling in the real estate world? Anyways?
Almost 3 years.
Almost 3 years.
Yes.
So the cool thing about that I like about what we do here at DialPros is that we when people move up into the manager positions, you start as a cold caller and then you go into the manager positions and stuff like that.
True,
so that's amazing. So as you guys can see, this is a real human, right? So
we are.
It's a real human, which is amazing, man. So appreciate your time.
Of course, my pleasure.
Thank
you very much,
man. Thank you.
Of course.
So there you got it. See, real people, real life folks. Let's go talk to a couple more people while we got some time here, and then we're gonna get out of here for a little bit. All right, so let's sit down with an account manager, right? So this is the person who is gonna be in charge of your account and making sure that everything is up and running, the uppity up. How are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing well. So tell me what you do on a day-to-day. I'm interested because I want people to know that when they're hiring DialPros and when they're hiring you guys to take care of their entire business, that there's a whole staff that's working behind them. So tell me what you do on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah, as account managers, we usually set a plan for the day first with the team leaders, and then we check the agents, the best agents to be put on specific campaigns and so.
Yeah.
We usually set for the target to get the green, stay with the big variance so that we can stay online. And check what the team leaders might need. We check the dialers if there's anything that needs to be done, check the list, and if anything needs to be refreshed or the DIDs to be changed. Usually we just try to make things easier for the team leader.
Make everything uppity up. So one of the things that when you hire a cold caller from DialPros and when you hire any of the agents, you're going to need to supply 10,000 leads a month.
Yeah.
Right? And so I'll explain kind of what that is. So 10,000 leads is given to the agent so they can make calls, and that kind of guarantees 2 to 3 leads a day.
Yeah.
Right? And so it's important to supply a good amount of leads, but not only good in the amount of how much you do, but also the quality.
The quality, yeah.
So why is the quality so important?
Because if they just keep on pushing non-quality leads, they're just gonna get back again, and the client may complain.
Client's gonna get upset, right? And then you gotta deal with that.
So that's why we always care about the quality, so that the client would expand, maybe get more seats, and this would be more great for the company. That's what we really trigger, the most important thing.
So we work very, very closely with REI Skip, obviously because they provide the leads and the skip tracing, and if it doesn't work out, you can always send back your list and be like, listen, here was our actual dial rate percentage, which your account manager will be able to tell you, or your contact percentage, and then they'll be able to fix your lead list or just give you another one. But it's real simple. Supply 10,000. Yeah. You're the person that's going to make sure that the agent's working, that everybody's doing what they're supposed to do. And if you ever have any problems with your account, you're probably going to be speaking there.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Cool. Well, I appreciate your time.
Thank you.
All right,
Thank
awesome.
you. Thank you.
All right, so I think we got one more. So the thing is, when you call DialPros, right? When you pick up the phone and you call DialPros, you're gonna be speaking to somebody that's gonna kind of walk you through the process of do you actually need your own agent? Let's go meet him and let's go figure out what that's. Connor, let me have some of your time real quick if you don't mind. Thanks, brother. Listen, so I got my team here with me today, and we're going to be talking about. We've been going through the whole office first of all, and talking to other people, just so that Americans know that it's actually real people in Cairo that they're hiring to work. But your job specifically is you work with when people fill out the form online to talk to somebody at DialPros to get signed up. You're the person that they're more likely going to be speaking with, right? Yeah. And so tell me, with your experience, what you basically do is you determine what's the best fit for that customer, or if they even need an agent at all. Now speak to that a little bit.
Exactly, right. So when someone reaches out to us, they're more or less looking into the industry, they're looking into cold callers, they want to know how best to move forward with the lead generation pipeline and all that. So what my job is to determine how to move forward with them. So for example, if someone already has a solid pipeline, they won't need a cold caller. In that case, I'd say go with the lead manager. If someone is still building up the business, someone who's dialing themselves, for example, then we'll say, let's go for one cold caller, let's go for two cold caller. But the goal is always to grow them, to grow their campaign and to get them to a place where their pipeline is automated and that they are just managing the lead managers, or they're just sitting back and the pipeline is getting closed in and of itself. We don't want them to do work, we don't want them to manage themselves, we want them to sit back, just send the data once a month and see the magic happen.
And that data we talk about is that 10,000 lead list a month. You need to send that in already skip trace so that their particular agent could then make those phone calls.
Of course, one of the biggest priorities that we have is to follow up on that, and we need to make sure that we're getting the most out of the list every single month, because if someone who doesn't answer, we're going to recycle that, we're going to put them into a separate dialing parameter, and we're going to dial them for the next month to make sure that we're getting the absolute most that we can get out of the list.
Squeeze the juice out of that list, the fresh juice.
Exactly.
So quick question. Is it true that DialPros is not a good fit for everybody? And kind of who are those people that DialPros really doesn't fit right now particularly?
Well, I would say somebody who's just getting started in the first place, they're just looking into the industry. It's always better to do cold calling yourself, because if you can do cold calling, you know exactly how it goes, then you can manage, you can know how to deal with the leads.
You have an expectation.
Exactly, you know that you have expectations, you know how to deal with the leads when they come in, you know how to follow up, and you know how to close them in the long run. Yeah. Because cold calling is, of course, it's very important. It's
tedious.
It's tedious, it takes a lot of time. Not everyone can do it, but everyone can learn to do it.
Yeah.
So
you don't have to be good at it. You just got to understand how it works. So
exactly.
You're saying the same thing that I've been telling people for the last 7 years. When you start this business, try to at least touch every piece of the operating business so that you understand what you're hiring for and what to expect of that person. So you hit the nail on the head. Me and you are definitely aligned on that. And then so your main goal is to onboard and make sure you have the right fit for somebody that has a real estate business. But not only real estate, there's other industries that you can place agents with into. What are some of your favorite industries?
I would say solar is a very promising industry. We could see a lot of growth in that industry in the coming years. I would say medical, especially in insurance. I'd say that's something that we could maybe will grow a little bit more. But yeah, maybe sales in general, lead generation for sales. It's not just cold calling, it's not just wholesale. It's every lead that you can get, you can do something with it.
Lead generation.
Exactly, there is always a lead there.
There's a lot of money that's been generated in this building right here.
Exactly.
A lot just from you guys calling. Look, I won't take too much of your time. I appreciate you, man. Listen, if you guys are calling DialPros or if you're filling out the form online, you're probably going to be speaking to Connor or his team because they know what they're doing. And here's it out. Let's check this out. Not everybody should have a cold caller. Not yet. But it's cool to inquire. Connor's going to set you up if you need one. If not, he's going to tell you what you need to do before you get to that point. So let's get out of here, Connor. I appreciate you. I'll see you around. Right?
Thank you.
Later. All right, everyone. There you have it. I am out of here. This is DialPros. Listen, you've seen it. Here's what I wanted to show you guys. Because most of the time there's a disconnect between you hiring somebody and them being overseas. You think they're not real people. Nope, we actually hire real people, highly educated, speak English well, and this is the DialPros headquarters. And I just want you to understand that these people are here to work for you to make sure that your business grows. So if you're interested in getting any type of lead generation, cold call, or anything like that, make sure you go to dialpros.com, fill out the form, and somebody from our team, probably Connor, is going to actually reach out to you and set you up if it's the right fit for you. All right, guys, you know what it is? This is Maxwell, and I'm out. Peace.